The far right-wing critics of our public schools for years have been saying, why can't we do as well as those kids in Finland? You know, why our kids aren't competitive with them? What those tough guys, I call them the no excuses people. You know, they're sort of the people who have brought us this entire misery agenda of test, anxiety, and terror. What they never tell you is that Finland has no standardized exams. It doesn't have any of this rat race. The kids actually have a precious commodity called happiness while they're students, which is hard to find in our urban schools today because of this misery agenda. And anyway, so much for Finland. It sounds like a wonderful place to go to school. I'm told they also have universal pre-kindergarten there. It's just a disaster that we still deny 3 full years of rich developmental preschool to all the low-income children in this nation. And I'll connect that directly with the testing mania that's taken over the nation. First of all, it's become obsessive. It's just far too much. In many, it's not having such a dreadful effect on affluent suburban schools because the folks out there know that their kids are going to do okay anyway. In the wealthy suburban schools, Natalia and I actually grew up in the same suburb of Boston. In that school district, they don't worry about these standardized exams. They just worry whether their kids are going to get into Harvard or Dartmouth, or whether they'll have to go to a second-rate place like Yale. And but it's in the inner city schools and the poor rural schools that a kind of siege mentality has taken over, because these are the places where the principals are running scared. And even the best principals I know are telling me confidentially, they're saying, Jonathan, I can't do any of the stuff I love to do, any of the stuff I would be doing in a nice white suburb, because I'll be in trouble if I can't pump the test scores by 2 percentage points next year, or whatever other arbitrary number politicians come up with. And so as a result, even good principals are saying to the teachers, don't waste any time on anything that's not on the exam. And the exams are usually limited to literacy and math, no social studies. I know kids who are being drilled for math and literacy, but they have no idea. They live in New York, and they have no idea what Massachusetts is, where I live. They don't know if it's a city or another country. So they have no longitude and latitude of their existence. A lot of these kids, of course, have never even been to Rockefeller Center in Manhattan. So it's not just that, it's crowding out all the arts and aesthetics, anything that has to do with cultural capaciousness. The humanities are dying in these kinds of schools.